Good day, y'all. Here I am with another installment to my suspension and steering overhaul. I completed it last night and took it for a test ride. Went down the road very well. Like I said, I had to do the measurement on the tie rod ends there, but I was able to get those correct. Okay, so I took it for a ride. Everything went very well. Went and filled it up with some fuel. And then I had an issue before with the drag link hitting the bottom of the oil pan. So I said, let me go back underneath and check. So when I let it on the ground, you know, everything was all copacetic. But as I am here, let's get a little bit of a light going on here. But so as you see, yeah, there's a sleeve and all that. But here's the pan. I'll clean some of that extra grease off there. But you see, scraping the bottom of my pan there, all damaged. Yeah, I'll leave the light on. So, and that was one of the reasons why I wanted to put the F250 springs in. So anyhow, so what I've done, you see, so yeah, I have the Canton 7-quart pan there. But let's see if I can get that angle better. A little bit there. But anyway, so that drag over here. So I did jack it all up. So I have a couple of different remedies so that I was going through. So as I said, F250 springs I ruled out for that clearance because I didn't want to deal with having to do anything extra with the caster and camber. I didn't want to ruin, oh, I shouldn't say ruin, but I didn't want to make it any more difficult with, trying to do the adjustments. So I left, as I said, I went with the F100 springs. So anyhow, so the options I had was, okay, not gonna try and heat up the drag link and stuff. That's stupid to try to re-engineer something like that. So I'm going, okay, you can put shims and stuff underneath the engine mounts. Okay, so I can do that, but it's gonna lift up the front of the engine and drop the back of the pan. So I'm really not gonna gain anything because of how far forward those engine mounts are compared to where the rear sump of that oil pan is. So I said, okay, my next option was put a shim underneath the transmission mount. So what I figure I'll do is, see, there's a mount there. Looks a little jacked up. When I was thinking, I'm like, I can lift the rear it up. But the problem with that is, if you, depending on how high I have to go up, then you start changing the drive shaft angle, which in turn, when you start messing with that geometry, you can incur vibration and stuff. So I have a center bearing, so I can, I can go up a little bit because it's not like it's not going to change it too much. So fortunately, I can lose a lot of it, with these other U-joints with the rear. Well, I mean, with the ones here, this one here where the center bearing is. So, and I can always fabricate another mount, move the center bearing in conjunction to me lifting up the rear of the transmission, which would give me the room I needed. So I said, okay, so if I'm gonna play with those angles and that geometry, so what I should do is not only put a shim underneath, well, spacer underneath the transmission mount, I'll do the engine mounts too and bring them all up at the same time. So it gives me more of more room to, I guess, you know, as far as the rear geometry. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go with, see, those are the original engine mounts, and I'm like, you know what, you know, the urethane and stuff. So they sell ones that you can get a quarter to a half an inch more. They're, I guess, polyurethane, and they already have some sort of spacer to give you that extra lift, you know, to bring the pan up. As I said, you see how forward it is. It may bring the whole engine up too. So anyways, I digress. I'm gonna go with new engine mounts with, I'm pretty sure you can buy the ones that has the spacers in them already, and I don't have to fab any up. But if I have to, that's no big deal. Like I said, I got my buddy across the street. He's got a water jet. No, he's actually got a plasma table, XYZ, CNC. Oh, thing's sick. Anyways, yeah, I'll go and see if thing's able to cut stuff out like that. So you cut that out on the table. So he just puts his program in, bang, bang, done. Anyways, yeah, so I was gonna have water jet, plasma cut for that. I was gonna make it out of aluminum, and anyways, yeah, I've got a bunch of projects for him to cut me up. Anyways, I can have him cut me up those plaques for the mounts and all that. So suspension, steering, all is really good. The last thing I have to do is go and get it aligned. But so today I am going to look up and see where I can find the engine mounts and order them, or just make some spacers. I don't know. I think I should get new engine mounts, because those, like I said, look like they were. I know the original because I didn't buy new ones when I rebuilt this engine. Well, I didn't rebuild when I had it rebuilt. Anyway, so yeah, that should give me the height to be able to clear that Canton pan right there. See, I got it jacked up to see that, you know, I'd love for it to be at that distance, but you know, so I'm gonna have to let it back down on the ground, and then what I'll do is that way there, I'll drive it, get it back to its resting position, so I can, because after I took it for a ride, that's when it started hitting me more. I'm like, whoa, it never hit it that before. Like I said, there must be some different geometry between the drag link that was on my truck and this SUSPENSIA, this one made in Turkey. So I'm gonna have to do a comparison with that also. But anyhow, I don't want to make this too long, but that's about where I'm at. Well, that's where I am at. So I'm gonna continue to go ahead and do all that. So anyways, yeah, raise this engine up, raise the back of the tranny, and then should be able to get the clearance I need. Anyways, have a good day, y'all. Hope you had a safe and enjoyable 4th. And thanks for listening.